that I was interested in Martine Duval was not because of her husband, Collier Wells. It was for the same reason that I'm now interested in Raven Whitney. They've both at one time been involved with the same man.
Sky Whitney?
Precisely.
Why are you so concerned with Skylar Whitney?
Because Sky Whitney was in Switzerland at the same time as Jefferson Brown. In fact, they were both on that plane that crashed in the Alps.
Well?
Well, Whitney was supposedly the only one who survived. But I think Jefferson Brown may have survived as well.
What the hell are you trying to say?
Look, Chief, after my father's suicide, there was really no one that the Senate Investigation Committee could talk to about those missing documents, and of one man.
Except for his assistant, Jefferson Brown.
Exactly, and he resigned at that time. He left the country to go to Switzerland, presumably to rest his shattered nerves. But there was another reason.
You think he went there to sell those documents he'd stolen?
I don't think it, I know it. He went abroad to make himself rich, but he couldn't do it. The State Department changed the contingent strategy as soon as they realized those documents were missing. I'm sure he was scared to death when he realized that there were people back in the States who'd like to talk to him. Probably recognized that some smart detective would track him down.
And he never came back, is that it?
No, he never came back. He died in that crash in the Alps. How convenient.
Death is a convenience?
It is when it happens on top of a mountain where people are not likely to find a missing body. Don't you see what I mean?
You know what I see, Tyler? I see that your theory is all speculation. Do you see that?
It's just a feeling I have. It's a very strong feeling. A feeling that Jefferson Brown is alive and well somewhere.
Well, yes, I am. I didn't expect you back so early. What happened to that mile-long shopping list of yours?
I went to see some people instead. I went to see April Scott, and then I had lunch with Valerie Bryson, your little friend.
She's not my little friend.
Oh, that's right. But she is a friend of Lieutenant Diedrichson, isn't she? A very good friend. Don't you try to deny it. You told me all about Lieutenant Diedrichson, that phony name you used at the clinic in Lucerne. She didn't even know you were Mr. Brown.
Will you shut up? Don't be a damn fool.
Well, you didn't tell me about her, did you?
Yes,
You're a bad boy.
I told you that I met her there.
In San Moritz?
Yeah.
Yeah, you met her in San Moritz. Found out what her father did for a living. That really intrigued you, didn't it?
No, it didn't. It wasn't until later. I mean, it wasn't until later that... Look, you're being ridiculous. You're working yourself up into a pointless frenzy.
It's not pointless. You were in love with her, weren't you?
Of course not.
Well, you met her again in Lucerne.
Look, I never knew her in San Moritz. It was the other. It was the original Sky. And she loathed him, too. He tried to get her in bed after she knew him for just an hour.
The cad.
Jefferson never knew Valerie Bryson. Now, don't you understand that? All I did was stand by while boy millionaire put the moves on her.
Well, she looked like an easy target to me, too.
Oh, come on. She was an 18-year-old kid. She was still in school.
I don't care what she was. Mr. Romantic Lieutenant Diedrichson, with his face all shot up by the enemy.
I had to have a cover, Raven.
You know what you had to have. You had to have a pretty wand to play with while your face got healed.
There was never any romance between us. I mean, first of all, my face was all covered in bandages. She never knew what I looked like. I mean, I didn't even get to kiss the girl, for crying out loud. Are you being very silly?
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
I can't help it. These past few days have been so crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The thing that really upsets me is the thought of that blonde little twerp in love with you.
Look, it wasn't me. It was just a situation.
She just died if she knew you were really three men. Lieutenant Diedrichson, Schuyler Whitney, and Jefferson Brown.
Raven, will you be a little bit discreet? I don't know where Gunther is. He could be lurking around here or anything. The last thing we need is for Gunther to know our little secret.
All right. I won't say anything else, I promise.
I'm going to hold you to that promise.
Drinking awfully early in the day, aren't you? Did you have any lunch? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Couldn't be better.
Look, I hate to leave, but I have a hair appointment at 2, and I want to go see Joe Hospital. What time is it anyway? I forgot my watch.
Oh, you know, I forgot my watch, too. I must have left it upstairs in the bedroom.
So, Schuyler Whitney you were interested in all along. That's why you were tailing Martine Duval. That's why you're now interested in Raven. That is why you're interested in Raven, isn't it?
Look, all I want is the truth. Did Jefferson Brown die in that plane wreck?
I can't tell you you're right or wrong or not, but I can tell you that you're probably wasting your time.
Well, it's my time. And Fowler Wilcox was my father. He died with the whole world thinking he was a traitor to his country. I have to prove them wrong.
I have to just leave now. I mean, I'm not trying to ignore your problems. As a matter of fact, I want you to know the reason I saw all those people today was because I was thinking of you.
Drink?
Please. I want to help you, Sky. You know about that investigation on Dr. Bryson, right?
Yes, I heard.
All right, well, April's husband, Draper, is the head of that investigation. Now, he is going around trying to find the names of all those people who had their faces changed, and he wants to know the reasons. Now, doesn't that worry you a little bit?
But I appreciate your concern.
Well, I just thought I would see if Draper was anything.
Well, I can tell you the answer to that. If Draper is looking for records of Dr. Bryson, he's not going to find any because Dr. Bryson never kept any records. All the patients were given were numbers, and that's all. There were no photographs around, or if there were any that were taken for surgical reasons, they were all carefully destroyed after the procedure. And he did not allow any photographs to be taken afterwards.
I'm sure that disappointed his daughter. She was a photographer.
Oh, is that the reason that you went to see Fowler? You were concerned that she might know our little secret?
The reason I went to see Valerie is because April told me she was in love with Lieutenant Diedrichson, and that was you.
Well, that's another thing that you don't have to worry about, because as far as she was concerned, I was just a fantasy figure. I was the war hero coming home to get his face fixed so he could rejoin the human race.
Oh, how romantic.
It was a way to pass the time, Raven.
Okay. Just don't pass any more time with her.
I have no intention of doing that. When I saw her walk through that door the day before we got married, I was not pleased.
I'm sure you were shocked.
But she had no idea why I reacted the way I did. Or maybe she thought it was because, you see, she had been with the original Sky in Switzerland.
Do you suppose they slept together?
I don't know. According to him, no woman could resist his pig.
But the only thing you were concerned about was Lucerne, and whether or not she recognized you as Diedrichson.
No, she didn't. Not even a glimmer.
What about your voice?
I changed it slightly, and the bandages helped.
Weren't you concerned? Wait a minute. You were concerned. You offered her a job. You tried to get her to leave the country by having one of your companies offer her a job abroad.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, that was a wonderful idea. I wish you would have accepted it. I just assumed she weren't in this country. I think she's a little too cute for her own good.
You don't have anything to worry about. There is nothing that's going to come between us. It's much too important to me.
To us.
Oh, it feels so good to have you by my side, to have someone that I can, my secret, with, share my life.
Our life is going to be one big, wild adventure.
Sometimes it is a bit too adventurous.
What do you mean? Is there a problem? What's wrong?
Nothing I can't handle.
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney, Mrs. Whitney. Chrissy wants to be home for dinner.
I don't even know when I'm going to be home. I have so many things to do. I'm going to miss my hair appointment. Gunther, do you have the time?
Time? Oh, yes, I do. 10 to 2.
I'm not so sure that Miles isn't right about this, Jody. It might be a very good idea to just go ahead and file a formal complaint against Gunther to make absolutely sure that this never happens
I
again.
can't do it. You can't keep something like this a secret. There's bound to be reporters and
No,
publicity.
that is not necessarily true. The police can be very discreet.
I can't take the chance. If the story gets out about Gunther, it might mess things up for Sky Whitney.
That really much to you?
Nicole, even if Gavin and the rest of the world don't like Sky Whitney very much, I have nothing against him. I have every reason to be grateful to him. He was giving me a very big chance, making me the star of his dance company. You tell me, how can I cause him problems like this?
The person that you are causing problems for is Gunther, and he deserves to have a few problems.
All I want to do is forget about the whole thing, including Sky Whitney and his company.
Jody. You're so terribly unhappy about this decision that you've made, aren't you?
No, I can't help it. Such a letdown, especially after all the hours and hours of work.
Well, it's not going to be wasted. I mean, you won't stop dancing, will you?
No, I suppose not. Although I don't know what the point is. I mean, Sky Whitney will own the only dance company in town.
Yes, if he keeps it going.
Oh, he will. He will. He's not going to let my leaving the company shut it down. He'll just get a new dancer. He might even have to find one. That's how much it means to him.
Well, then you will just find lots of other opportunities.
What I'd really like to do is dance in the chorus if he'd let me. But I don't think he will, and I don't even think Gavin will ask him.
Gavin?
Yes, I told Gavin he could handle my resignation and talk to Sky Whitney. I wanted to do it myself. That's why I went to the Whitney house. But I told Gavin he could do it for me. He should be now. And I hate to think about what's going on.
Okay. Goodbye. Be good.
Oh, say hi to Aunt Jody for me.
I will. I should be home by 6:30, and let's not have dinner here. Let's go out and celebrate.
Celebrate what?
Who cares? We always have something to celebrate, don't we?
Tell Chrissy we're going out.
Yes, sir, Mr. Whitney, sir. Oh, do you think you should be going out, Mr. Whitney? I mean, you don't look at all well.
It's none of your business what I do.
Well, I'm sorry I upset you, Mr. Whitney. I mean, I saw you go all white when Mrs. Whitney asked me for the time. Did you really think I was going to show her this? That's stupid. I don't even wear it when she's around. Nobody else needs to know what's going on between us. It's our little secret. And we're both good at keeping secrets, aren't we? Oh, permit me, Mr. Whitney.
I'd like to see Mr. Whitney.
Yes, sir. Walk this way, please.
I didn't know we had an appointment.
I'd like to speak privately, Sky.
Yes, sir.
I think you know the subject.
Well, let me guess. About that high? Very pretty?
That's right.
Well, that's what I imagined it would be. I guess that you heard the same story Dr. Kavanaugh did about Gunther's unchivalrous behavior.
Yes, I did. But that isn't the reason I'm here.
Oh, isn't it? You want a drink?
No thanks.
It's gonna be a sociable visit.
All right. I'll have a drink. Vodka, please. Now, the only reason I don't want to talk about Gunther is because I promised Jody I wouldn't. I told her I would stick to only one subject.
No, and what's that?
Her resignation.
Oh, yes, I seem to remember something about that. I also remember I talked her out of it.
Yes, you did. By making her feel guilty.
By making her realize that it was just a premature case of stage. She's a very young girl, Gavin. She needs confidence. And I remember I told you that that was your job, to instill that confidence in her. I hope that you've been doing your job.
Oh, I did my job, Sky. But I'm sorry. So is she. We think that it's best for all involved that Jody doesn't open the Whitney Dance Company next week.
We think.
That's right, it's a mutual decision. We feel, as I've told you on numerous occasions, that Jody isn't ready in this stage of her development to carry the load of a major company. Now, you've got to understand, Sky, this is for your good as well as hers. Now, I know you're dead set on having your own discovery. But you've got to understand this also, that it is much more important to have a good, solid company with dependable performers.
Well, it's nice that you're thinking of me, Gavin.
Oh, yes, I'm thinking of you. And I'm also thinking of working kids in the company. They deserve success. Don't hamper them with a performer who doesn't believe in herself.
Seems to me that she used to believe in herself. It seems to me that she was talked out of it.
No, wasn't by me.
I think that it was. Just as this idea of quitting was your idea, just as it's your idea now.
You're wrong. The reason Jody came here last night was to say what I'm saying right now, that she's leaving.
I'm sorry. I can't accept this second-hand resignation.
You'll have to, because it's definite now. She will not be attending any more rehearsals. I've told her to stay home and rest, and she needs to rest, believe me. She's exhausted. More by her emotions than by her dancing.
It's not Jody who's no longer going to be with the company, Gavin. It's you.
I expected this. Go on, find yourself a new choreographer. But while you're at it, find yourself a new star.
I am not going to let you ruin months of work.
Whose hard work? Yours? You just sat back and expected miracles.
I put together this whole damn dance company, and it is going to be the best damn dance company in this country. And you are not going to spoil it.
The threat, Sky. What were you gonna do this time? Were you gonna send Gunther around to break my leg again? Well, I got news for you. I would have been prepared for him this time.
Oh, Gavin, don't tell me that you're armed.
As a matter of fact, I am. And you can tell Gunther that. And if he comes around with any rough stuff in mind, I am prepared to get even rougher.
Well, I wouldn't want to tell that to Gunther. You know, he's got a very frail constitution. The news might kill him. All right, your resignation is accepted, Gavin. I'll get off my property.
Gladly.
Oh, there is one more thing. You're to stay away from Jody Travis.
Now, how do you plan to do that?
You are not going to interfere in my plans, Gavin, because if you do, you're going to be very sorry.
Just who the hell do you think you are to tell me who I can see and who I can't, especially my friend?
Well, well.
Now, I have said everything that I have to say. And I am very sorry you didn't take it the way you wanted to. So long, Sky. I'll be seeing you. I have to go back to tell Joey that we're both through.
Leaving so soon, Mr. Wiley?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's a shame. You just got here.
Oh, be careful, Gunther. You know, he tells me that he's armed.
No? Oh, well, I didn't feel anything.
Keep your hands off me.
What are you going to do, Mr. Wiley? Hurt me?
No, I wouldn't hurt any hair on your head.
You're a funny kid, aren't you?
You know, I promised Jody that I wouldn't do anything to you, and I've got to keep that promise, so don't tempt me.
Yeah? Well, what were you planning to do?
I had no plans at all.
All right, Gunther, Gunther.
Come on.
Gunther, Gunther!
All right, now, why did you stop me, Mr. Whitney? I could have killed that punk!
Yes, Gunther. I was thinking just the same thing. That is exactly what we are going to do.
Cognitive recalibration.
Exclusively on USA. Before there was Colonel Sherman Potter, there was Officer Bill Gannon.
It was in all the papers.
Harry Morgan and Jack Webb star in Dragnet at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on USA, weekdays.
Hi, I'm Kim Fields.
And I'm Mike Cherrick. On the next Alive and Well, Kim's mom's going to be here to tell us all the secrets about Kim.
At 2 p.m. Eastern on USA tomorrow. This is USA.
Are you sure you're supposed to be leaving this place, or are you pulling a daring escape?
Oh, no, it's perfectly legal, Kelly. I'm quite all right, really.
Oh, now let me help you with that, Mrs. Sack.
Thank you, dear.
Now, Geraldine, I think you could use another couple of days in bed.
Oh, I fully intend to spend the next several days in bed. I just don't want it to be this bed.
You live at the Monticello Arms, don't you?
Yes, it's a perfectly fine hotel in every way, where everything is done for you, thank heavens. Light housekeeping was not one of my strong points.
Well, good. There'll be somebody there to take care of you.
Oh, yes, there'll be the usual maids and room service people and all that.
But nobody to be with you at all times?
You should have someone, Geraldine, a private nurse at least.
Now, Kelly, the last thing on earth I need is to have someone trailing after me trying to be helpful.
That was quite a knock you took on the head.
You know something, my dear boy. You are much too young to be so fussy. Now, I don't want you to go running off to your aunt and uncle telling them what a helpless creature I am. I have nothing against sympathy, but I loathe pity.
Speaking of Mike and Nancy, we are due there just about now.
Oh, that's right. We don't want to be late for dinner, do we?
Now, you remember what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, I see you're all packed and you have company.
We were just leaving, Mrs. Whitney.
So nice of you to drop by.
We will be keeping in touch, Geraldine.
Feel better, Mrs. Sack.
Thank you, my dearest.
Good night.
I can't say you were very cordial to those young people.
I don't feel that I have to be cordial to Valerie Bryson if you knew what I knew.
And I hope you're not going to bring up that business about her father. Certainly, she was not to blame for that.
It's much more than that, but forget about her. I'll tell you about her later. Right now, let's get out of this place.
Yes, I'm almost ready.
Okay, the car is waiting downstairs, and Chrissy has prepared your room.
What room?
Why, your room at the Whitney Mansion. Didn't I tell you? You're coming home with me.
There's no doubt of it, Nancy. Damien Tyler is a man on a mission.
But it seems so hopeless, Mike. I really feel sorry for him, don't you?
It does seem hopeless. Trying to save the reputation of one dead man by ruining the reputation of another dead man.
What did you think of his theory about that man, Jefferson Brown?
I really can't tell. I would assume those high-powered Washington investigators must have checked him out, too.
Oh, I'm sure they did. And obviously, they didn't suspect him of stealing any documents.
In Damien's mind, he's the only alternative. The only other person who might have been guilty.
Still, there might be another answer. It won't be easy to find, though, any easier than it would be to find Jefferson Brown's body.
Of course, Damien doesn't think there is a body. That Brown somehow managed to survive that plane crash the same way Schuyler Whitney did.
You know, as he was telling us this story, I was itching to get to the typewriter.
I can just imagine. Yeah. That would make quite a story, wouldn't
Ooh, delicious. But it was told to us in confidence, so I'll keep it in confidence.
it? Now, wait a minute, Nancy. Perhaps Damien wouldn't mind the publicity. It might even help his search.
Oh, honey, I don't think so. I didn't get that impression. He didn't seem to indicate that he really wanted it known. And anyway, from what he said, I don't think that Schuyler Whitney knows exactly what Damien wants from him.
The whereabouts of Jefferson Brown? I'll get that. Hello? Yes, speaking. From whom? Oh, yes, of course. Nancy?
Yes.
It's Switzerland. It's from Draper.
So, what'll it be? Fast or slow?
Something with a beat.
Ha-ha, you got it. So anyway, she's leaving first thing in the morning. She is winging her way to Heathrow Airport. That's in London.
That's really exciting. Are you sure she's able to travel? I mean, isn't she really far along?
Well, I think the chances are pretty good that April will have that baby in Europe. She said the kid will probably be born with a foreign accent.
That's a joke, right?
Yes, Bobby, that's a joke. Anyway, it looks like this place is going to have an absentee owner, and that makes me feel really bad, too. Oh, I'm going to miss April. After all, she put me into this business, and she stayed with this place even when we did nothing but lose money for the first couple of months.
You know, but we're doing okay now. Oh, we got enough customers.
Sure. We're finally in the black.
Anyway, it couldn't matter very much to her. She's really rich. What about that fancy apartment? Did she sell it?
Well, I heard that her brother and her sister-in-law are going to move in.
Ooh, are they lucky? I'll never forget that first day I went up to meet you. I've never been in a penthouse before. You know, it's better than in the movies. Ooh, I must have dreamed about that place a dozen times since then.
Don't be such a dreamer, Bobby. You don't need penthouses to be happy.
I know what I need.
Whoops. Whoops, what?
Hi, guys. You, open for supper yet?
You know better than that, Teach. We open for dinner in exactly 20 minutes. I thought you knew the schedule by now.
Well, I'm sorry, but I was going to a dance preview tonight, and it's a rather early curtain. But it's okay. I'll grab a hamburger someplace else that doesn't have a schedule.
No, you don't have to do that. Sid, I'm sure there must be something we can fix for Gavin.
Yeah, sure. I can always accommodate a good customer. I'll just go in the kitchen and check.
Thanks, Sid.
You want a beer while you wait?
I'd love one.
So how are the rehearsals going?
Rehearsals are going great. We're only missing one thing. A leading dancer.
What happened to Jody?
Jody quit the company. I was fired.
Gavin, that's awful. What happened?
It's a long story. I don't want to bore you.
You're not boring me. God, I was really looking forward to that opening.
Well, I'm not so sure there's going to be an opening, Bobby. In fact, I'm not so sure there's even a Whitney Dance Company anymore.
I don't get it. What is going on over there?
Well, Jody isn't ready to be Sky's superstar. So he was going to push her to become a star and make himself look good. She did the right thing and just backed out gracefully.
So it's all her fault. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that at all. I urged her to do it, yeah. But I think it's the best thing for her.
Oh, I see. You really care a lot about Jody, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I know it doesn't seem that way with what I've done, but, yeah, I care for her very much.
She's a lucky girl. That's something I never really had in my life. You know, a guy who cared about me as a person.
Oh, I find that hard to believe, Bobby.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I just keep picking the losers. Or if they're not losers, they belong to somebody else.
Gavin? Oh, Gavin, I'm so glad I found you.
Hey, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to stay home and help your sister pack.
They kicked me out. They said I was slowing them down. So I can go to the preview with you after.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, into
showers. Let's build body with the Prel 1-2. The conditioner's new.
1, shampoo in, body in, fullness in.
Prel body.
2,
New Prel protein-enriched conditioner.
conditioner in, protein in, condition in, control in.
That's Prel body.
Full body shampoo.
And new Prel conditioner. It's my bodybuilding system for hair.
Who says new Liquid Tide cleans some of your toughest stains better than any other liquid? You do. And in nationwide tests, hundreds of you proved it. So did Ann Clark of Banning, California.
Liquid Tide left no stain at all. I can definitely see the difference. I've used my liquid, and I've used Liquid Tide, and there is a huge difference. The cap is ingenious. They'll never be looking for a measuring cup, and I really am impressed with Liquid Tide.
You can say new Liquid Tide cleans better because you can see it cleans better. See for yourself.
Wow, what a party.
Lasagna, what a mess.
Take me to your kitchen.
You'll help do the dishes?
Not with that lemon liquid. Here's something better for this job. Introducing new improved Joy. One little squirt puts the toughest squeeze on dirt. Look, Joy cleans better than your lemon liquid on foods like this.
My brand couldn't cut the dirt.
Joy left its dish shining.
Joy made this sparkle.
Uh-huh. Beautiful table you set.
Thanks to Joy.
New lemon fresh Joy. One little squirt puts the toughest squeeze on dirt. In fact, I'm so sure new Joy is the toughest lemon liquid, I'll let you try it out for free. I can do that. I'm the spokeslemon around here. Check your mail for details. If you don't receive any information, write to us at the address shown here.
On the next Petrocello.
Are you trying to tell me that Bob Warren was blackmailing you? So help me, every blessed word I've told you is true.
William Shatner guest stars at 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursday. This is USA.
For obvious reasons, I'm glad you're here. But I'm also glad you got out so you'd stop brooding.
Yeah, I think that's why Miles and Nicole suggested I leave. I was so absent-minded, I kept putting dishes in the book box. Anyway, I think they hated the way I kept staring at the phone.
Why were you doing that?
Because I thought it would ring. I expected Sky Whitney to be on the other end. I kept hoping.
Hoping? Why? You didn't want to talk to him, did you?
No, not really. But it just seems so much worse not hearing from him at all, not getting any kind of reaction from him.
Well, there's no more reaction needed. You quit, that's all there is to it. You want to hear it in French? C'est un fait accompli. How's that?
Well, it sounds very definite in French. Which, of course, reminds me of Martine. You know, I feel sorry for Sky. I mean, now he's lost 2 principal dancers.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
You know, I should really call Martine and tell her.
Why? She'll read it in the newspaper when they make the announcement of the postponement or the cancellation of the opening.
I wasn't talking just about the dance company. Gavin, I think Martine should know about us.
Now there are 2 of you. Well, I've got good news for you. Just about everything in the kitchen is ready on the menu, so take your pick.
Thanks.
What about you, honey? Oh, by the way, did you remember what I asked you? That you get yourself a picture for us to put on the wall right there next to Gavin in Sid's Hall of Fame?
I'd like that, being next to Gavin.
I figured you would.
Well, it's true. I like that more than anything in the world. Being next to you and working with you.
Try to keep it that way. I don't know how easy it'll be, though. How many jobs are there for a dancer and a choreographer?
Well, then I just won't work. I mean, I refuse to work without you. That's all there is to it.
Hey, don't worry about it so much.
Gavin, there is something that I'm really worried about. Gunther.
Don't ruin my appetite, huh?
No, I'm serious. He frightens me. He frightens me so much more than I can explain.
He won't bother you anymore. You can take my word for that.
Are you sure you didn't pick a fight with him when you went to see Sky? Did you keep your promise to me about that?
Yeah. I told you I'd stay cool, and that's exactly what I did. In fact, Gunther was a little cool, too.
What do you mean? What did you do?
Nothing.
Well, what's your pleasure, kids? Or haven't you been able to take your eyes off each other long enough to look at the menu?
Now, Ray, I really don't want to go straight up to bed. I'd like to sit on the sofa for a little while and get used to the idea of being here again.
I guess it's all right. It's just this way, Mrs. Saxon.
Yes, well, thank you, Chrissy. I believe I can find my way into the living room, all right?
Yes, ma'am. You can come in here and sit down for a little while, but then you have to go to bed because you need your strength.
For heaven's sake, Raven, stop worrying. I can manage very nicely. As a matter of fact, I think I could have managed perfectly well if you had just taken me to my own home.
But Geraldine, this is your home.
Is he gonna eat Jif too?
Sure. It's got to be Jif for my guy. Or girl. The difference is just being out of your taste. But says he means the world to me.
I'll teach him to make the Jif all gone.
It's the mighty one for your special one with a taste for peanutty.
I remember choosing the peanut butter for his first taste. I tried all the big brands, and Jif had more fresh roasted peanut taste.
Peanutty difference in Jif.
Do I have to share if he's a girl?
Years ago, I enjoyed just growing plants. Today, I've got a growing business. Now that's a change for the better.
I used to buy separate detergent and fabric softener. Now Bold 3 detergent plus fabric softener is all I buy. Hard to believe, Bold 3's full-strength fabric softener softens even the scratchiest towels. And controls static, while its tough detergent cleans out dirt like this. Just add water, and the results are beautiful.
A change for the better. Bold 3.
In an hour or two, these streets will be teeming with people, all going after the same thing, the American dream of success. But while there are millions of men and women chasing the American dream, there's only so much of it to go around, which is why you should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Each business day, the Journal gives you a real competitive advantage with comprehensive news coverage, analysis, ideas you can put to excellent use in your work, and business information you won't find anywhere else. Now, of course, you don't have to subscribe to the Journal, but in a very short time, these streets will be filled with people who do.
Call 800-527-9800 for this new Journal offer. 13 weeks for just $28 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $28. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
No, Raven. Despite the many years I lived in this house, it is no longer mine.
That is ridiculous. It's called the Whitney Mansion, isn't it? And even though your name is Saxon, you're still a Whitney. And I can still see Gordon Whitney's portrait hanging up here.
No. It's your house now, yours and Skylar's. You have to create your own ambience in this house. Fill it with your own memories.
That's true. We do have to fill it with ourselves.
And of course that takes time. A house needs aging like good wine or a good marriage.
Our marriage is ageless. It's always going to stay young.
Well, that's a worthy ambition.
It's not an ambition. It's determination. I'm always going to be young, and so is Scott. Maybe I can even get my picture to age instead of me like what's his name?
Dorian Gray.
Right. I don't want to change. I want everything to stay exactly the way it is.
Here's your tea, Mrs. Whitney.
Thank you. Mrs. Saxon would like 1 cup, and then she's going to go straight to bed.
Oh, all right, Ray. I'll climb into bed, and then after a few days, thank you, when I'm feeling stronger, I'll climb out of bed and go back to my own home where I belong.
We'll see about that. No, thank you. That will be all, Chrissy.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me what it is about the Bryson girl you dislike so much. Frankly, I find her quite charming.
Oh, she is charming. She hides what she's really like. And as for that nonsense about her being innocent of her father's crimes, I don't believe that for a second.
Kelly tells me that she knew absolutely nothing about her father's practices. Now, Mike and Nancy are of that same opinion.
They are all blind. She spent months in her father's clinic at Lucerne. Of course she knew what was going on.
Apparently, very few people did. After all, it took years to apprehend Dr. Bryson.
Well, she did know a few of her father's patients only too well.
And what is that supposed to mean?
She was madly in love with one of them. Didn't you hear that story?
No, I did not.
Well, it's true. She was carrying on with one.
How I dislike phrases like carrying on.
Well, call it what you like. He was a veteran. He had a total facial reconstruction, and she was mad for him.
And what do you mean by
I was just wondering if Kelly knew.
Now, Raven, you mustn't start spreading ugly gossip. Kelly is very fond of that girl.
Well, don't you think that's all the more reason that he should know about Lieutenant Diedrichson?
Are you sure you don't want a drink, Valerie?
Oh, no thanks, Mike. Maybe I'll have a little wine with dinner.
I'll have the same, Mike, thanks.
You're absolutely certain. You know, there are times when it helps to be fortified.
Michael, you are a terrible teaser. Aren't you going to tell her? Tell me what?
Have you heard something new, Mike, about Switzerland?
About half an hour ago, I got a call from Zurich. It was Draper. And the subject was you, Valerie.
Have they found something out about my father?
Oh, it is nothing to be alarmed about, dear. Nothing wrong.
It's just that I dread this news from Draper Scott. I don't want to hear more about my father's criminal clients.
Mike, do you mean that number was actually a Swiss bank account?
Yes, it was. As a matter of fact, they've been exploring the possibility of such an account ever since the investigation started over there. It seemed logical to assume that your father had a numbered account so he could shelter some of those large fees he was collecting. The reason the Swiss bank authorities were willing to reveal it was because the account was in trust for you, Valerie.
For me?
That's right. Obviously, your father wanted to make certain that you were well taken care of.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think he was hiding it from the law or from the tax people. I think he was hiding it from his wife.
Well, from what Val has told me about her stepmother, that certainly makes sense.
I just never expected anything like this.
Just the same, it's true. I don't mean that there won't be some legal entanglements. I hope you understand that.
Oh, yes, of course.
But sooner or later, that money, or most of it, will be in your hands. And you might as well know right now, it's sizable. In fact, it's several $1 million.
Tommy, turn on the dishwasher.
Annie, Mom wants you to turn on the dishwasher.
Daddy, turn on the dishwasher, please.
Dishwasher. Passing the buck, that great American pastime. But it can leave dirty dishes that sit by morning.
Ew, gross.
They really need Sunlight dishwasher detergent. Lemon scent Sunlight cuts tough, stuck on food easily. Nothing cleans dishes that sit better.
Awesome.
So if the buck stops with you, try Lemon Sunlight. It really stands up to dishes that sit.
There's no place like HBO. We'll make your spirit shine, your laughter flow. What a feeling.
Oh, what movies? Romancing the Stone, Splash, Gorky Park, exclusive sporting events, family specials, uninhibited comedy, films you can't see anywhere else. You don't just watch HBO, you feel it.
Oh, what a show. There's no place like HBO.
How far do your kids have to go when they need information in a hurry?
I better get to the library before it closes.
If he only had the new Encyclopedia Britannica at home, he wouldn't have to go through all this. He could be learning right now about science, art, medicine. A 2-volume index makes subjects easy to find, and thousands of illustrations bring them to life. The new Encyclopedia Britannica. It's your key to the information age. But they can't use it if they can't get to it. Call this toll-free number for a free booklet on Britannica. Plus, receive your first copy of the new Britannica World Data Annual. It's free from Britannica Home Library Service when you acquire Britannica. Preview Britannica and receive free this 3-volume desk reference set. Call 1-800-USA-1000 for your free booklet and details on how you can receive your desk reference set. Encyclopedia Britannica, the library that never closes.
Mike, do you mean to say that I'm sitting next to a millionaire?
A future one, anyway.
I can't believe this. I Mike, it can't be this simple.
No, it's not going to be simple. But if there's no evidence to prove that your father's money was obtained illegally,
Apparently, most of his patients were legitimate.
it's my guess that after a period of time, that money most certainly will go to you, Valerie.
Honey, you know, that trust explains something that was very puzzling. Why Dr. Bryson was so determined to get that $1 million fee from Ira Gideon.
Clearly, he didn't want to touch the money in that account. It was meant for you, Valerie, only for you.
So you see, he was thinking of you all the time. Doesn't that prove it? Oh, Nancy, I don't care if I never see that money. Just to know that about him.
Well, congratulations, Mike. I mean, you're figuring out that number in Val's father's letter was a bank account number.
That's the strange part of it, Kelly. It wasn't.
It wasn't?
It was not the number of that account.
You mean they still don't know what that number means?
Well, this might help. I jotted down some notes while I was talking to Draper. It seems they've found some records of your father's which listed various sums he collected from his patients for surgical fees.
Because they weren't the patients' names. They were identifying numbers.
And this was one of the numbers.
Take a look, Val. 122879.
That's the number from the letter.
So your father included a patient's number. But why? Why would he do that?
I have no idea, Kelly.
Was there a date with it?
Right here.
September 19th, 1978.
Now, does that mean anything to you?
Yes. That would have been the day that Jim Diedrichson was released from my father's clinic. It's his payment. That's got to be his number.
Well, who's Jim Diedrichson?
And why would your father put that number in the letter? What was he trying to tell you, Valerie?
Welcome to an open house celebration of Home magazine. Come in and tour the pages of Home, the only magazine that talks to you where you live, no matter where you live.